All right, Ash, we've got the all-new 2026 Hilux here. This thing is built as a proper workhorse, but also a seriously comfortable car for your everyday needs.
Exactly. And today we really wanted to show you the Roll Art Cover Series 3.5, and it just fits into what the Hilux is all about. It's not just a cover, but it's part of the full system built to suit your needs.
Yeah, this isn't just about closing the tub, it's about control, access, security, and keeping the Hilux practical for real use. Let's start with the design.
The first thing you notice about the new Hilux is that it's a lot less bulky, which is perfect because the HSP Roll Art Cover is the slimmest side rails of any cover matched with the vehicle's aesthetic.
So that means you can get a factory style integration instead of something that looks added on. In fact, I would go as far as saying this is the only cover with a custom profile cut side rails as far as we've seen to date.
The finish matters too. The Manix black coating that's hard wearing and similar to the look of the Hilux. It also has no external locks, so it stays visually clean and improves security because there's nothing worse than having a lock that someone can pick, smash, or force open.
Okay, how about compatibility? This is where the Roll Art Cover really stands apart.
Yeah, because it's not just a roll top, it's actually the building block of your setup.
If you're looking for an adjustable ladder rack, for carrying long gear, for work, for wanting to dock things to your roof racks.
Yeah, or we have the Load Rack Junior, and that's awesome for the setup if you're looking to do things like your rooftop tents or your platforms. Plus, don't forget the HSP crossbar. Now these are removable and it has the ability to move up and down the tracks to suit your exact setup. Perfect for things like bike racks.
Absolutely. And again, these are all designed to be the building blocks, so you can adapt them to suit your needs and specific setups.
Alrighty, what's next?
How about operation?
Yeah, that's a good one. So the operation is something that we really pride ourselves on the Roll Art Cover. And we have 5 modes of operation that you can actually control your roll top. Now this will start with your factory remote, which works with the double clicking of the lock and unlock buttons.
Inside the cabin, there's also the lock and unlock buttons of the Hilux, which also work, which is perfect for when you're stepping out of your vehicle.
Perfect. And you also have the LED touchpad that's located on the passenger side of the roll top. And a really important security feature of this is actually that when your car is locked, those touchpads are not able to be operated.
And finally, you do have app integration, which is really, really important. So it's not just open and close, but you can start really customizing a lot of the features of the Roll Art Cover.
Yeah, exactly. And just building on that, also inside the app, you can use things like your brightness of your light. How long is your touchpad going to stay open for? How long does the light stay open for? And you can even set up Siri commands to control your roll top.
I also love the fact that it does have over-the-air Wi-Fi updates, which means that your cover can always have the most relevant firmware without needing to go to a service center.
Alrighty, now I think it's time that we take a deeper look. Let's actually talk about the tub access. Now this is one of my favorite parts of the Roll Art Cover.
Full retraction. The curtain disappears completely into a uniform canister. No motor bulge, no uneven storage, and no curtain sticking out.
Yep, and that's one of the things I love the most as well on that point of drainage. So it's completely out of the way, and I've seen a whole bunch of roll tops on the market where it actually falls below the canister. Sometimes it even goes into the tub. And when that happens, things go wrong.
Which means full tub access for all your gear. And the LED light runs the full width. Plenty of light if you're working late or around a campsite at night.
Alrighty, so you've actually loaded up your gear and you're ready to head off. Now, if you're worried about security, think no more.
Security is really simple. We've got interlocking extrusions, so you can't just cut through the exposed locks, like we mentioned earlier, and the touchpads is integrated with the central locking of the vehicle, meaning that when the vehicle is locked, those touchpads are not active.
Exactly. And even on the market, you'll also find some of the cheaper covers actually use like a garage remote, and it's a secondary remote for your roll top, where our actual factory key integration is programmed into the vehicles.
Yeah, we're literally piggybacking off the security of the actual vehicle, and I think Toyota's done a fantastic job of that. We use our 4 drainage points, 2 in the canister, 2 in the rear to divert water away from your tub.
Yeah, plus we've also got some external grates on the edge here, as well as an internal gutter system that actually lets the water flow out of the roll top.
Yep, it's designed for Australian rain, and I think we've done a great job at countering the elements.
Now, let's talk about roll top installation. You won't find it much simpler than HSP.
Those contoured side rails means everything lines up. We use a mix of clamp and factory points, as well as plug and play wiring. In fact, I think this is the fastest electric roll top to fit.
Look, absolutely. So when you're actually looking to buy a cover, it's worth noting that installation charges on a HSP roll top are often much lower than the competitive products. And that's actually also to do with the features. You're getting a lot more value out of this, so really look at your net costs. But last but not least, it's the only 100% Australian made and manufactured roll top.
There are so many companies bringing in Alibaba units and using tricky wording like Australian owned or designed, which is honestly a bunch of bullshit. This product is designed, owned, engineered, and manufactured in Victoria, and almost all of the parts are sourced within Australia, which gives us control over quality, fitment, and performance.
So if you're looking for a cover for your 2026 Hilux and want something with all the bells and whistles, quality at an affordable price, then the HSP Roll R cover is the system for you. And we also have a separate video on all of our other products to suit the Hilux, from our Load Bar, our Load Rack Pro, Load Rack Junior, and of course, our Armor Bar.
Head to www.hsputilities.com where you can quote up your exact build with flat rate freight and fitment pricing available all around the country. Or visit any of our HSP stockers, which you can find on the website as well. And lastly, you can absolutely follow us on @HSP4x4 on any of the major social media channels.
Thanks for watching.